G'day! In today's video I'm talking about the Ambinic RG35XX. This one I purchased as a birthday present to myself, and I purchased it mainly because A, it can play pretty much everything up to PlayStation 1. Granted, maybe not so much the N64, but I haven't looked into that realm of custom gaming just yet. But right now, this is basically, as you can see, a little Game Boy. I bought it just to be a portable Game Boy purely for that purpose, as I was sick of playing emulators on my phone, where I'd much rather have this sitting in a drawer and I can just pull it out, continue Zelda, continue Mario, continue Pokemon, and be on my way. As you can see on the back here, we do have a few triggers, L1, R1, and those particular ones there are for essentially PlayStation games. You may be able to map them, but I haven't looked that far either. But what I'm more getting at is the price of cheap Chinese gaming consoles, knockoffs, custom consoles, and the quality of them compared to they were 10, 15 years ago. I'm used to seeing a knockoff. If I saw a knockoff of the original Game Boy, when the original Game Boy was out, I remember them being those little non-backlit screens, LCD crystals, and essentially it would be a similar game to like Knockout or something like that, where essentially you have a single game on there. It might be like one of those 4, 5, 80 games in one, and all they are is a slight spin-off of one another. And they were all quite poor compared to the original Game Boy. With something like this, for 100 Australian dollars, or I think it's about 60 US dollars, the quality is rather there. One thing I found though, that I haven't been able to get over, which I'm currently just trying out a custom OS on there to combat this, is, for example, if I go into games, and I'm going to go into Game Boy Color, and one game that I've got that I still own is Zelda Oracle of Ages. And playing it on here, the overall quality of it is rather jumpy, where I've tried out. Let's me turn the volume down. No, multiple taps, don't press and hold. And for example, playing it on here, it is extremely choppy, especially when I move through different levels. When you go to a new zone, walk to the edge and the screen scrolls across to where you are. On here, it is extremely choppy, and personally, I don't like it. I wouldn't classify it as playable. Where at the minute with Garlic OS, it is considerably smoother. The frame rate of it seems to be much better. But that's what comes down to the customization of such device. So essentially I could have Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, MAME, Neo Geo, Super Master System, Sega Mega Drive, whatever I want on here, up to about the PS1. PS1 emulation's not too bad, it's using PSX rearm, and that seems to be playing stuff pretty well actually. Granted, if you do require the thumbsticks, they are missing. But overall, the screen quality of this did surprise me. For a neat little IPS display, it is very bright, very smooth, considering it's playing stuff at 30, 60 FPS, and so definitely surprised me when I got it. So overall, a thumbs up for this little gadget. Granted, it's not something I'm going to sit there and play for hours. Another thing to note, I do find the actual button layout to be reasonably ergonomic, as opposed to something like the original Game Boy where my thumbs are distorted. That's one reason why I picked the 35XX. It's purely for the higher buttons on it up here, where I see some that are down low, and I feel like I'm playing it like this, which I'd much rather not destroy my thumbs trying to play vintage or retro video games. Anyway, that's my thoughts on this. There may be a future video down the line with a bit more of an update of my thoughts and just general modification of it. Anyway, catch you guys later. Bye.